Hi, good afternoon. It is Chris Chun with K&K Luxury Real Estate, and we are at our next Napa Charity Spotlight, and today we are spotlighting the Monarch Justice Center, and I'm here with Michelle Farhat, who is the Executive Director. Thank you so much for joining us. So, Michelle, what is the Monarch Justice Center?
Thank you, Chris. The Monarch Justice Center is a collaboration between public and private organizations. So under one roof, we have law enforcement, prosecutors, social services, and legal support. And they're all meant to help victims of crime.
So when you say victims of crime, is that like, is it domestic? Is it just any crime, like car break-in? Like what is the...
It's a good question. So the people we support, there's 5 pillars that we call it: domestic violence, human trafficking, sexual assault, child abuse, and elder abuse are the 5 areas that a family justice center would serve in their community.
Okay, so what is your typical client? How do they come to you? How does that relationship begin?
Sure. So there are organizations in the community that are aware of our services. So for instance, with elder care, we have connections with the Adult Protective Services. We just had somebody come this last week that was looking to get help with a restraining order because their adult child was threatening them, and that happens a lot with elder clients. And so we help them with that process. They can come through the schools, they can come through hospitals, therapists, that type of thing is where we get our referrals.
That's wonderful. So what is the one way that like people could help? What do you guys look for the greatest level of people helping for the Monarch Justice Center?
So where we look for help is in a couple ways. We have an emergency fund where we help people with either rental assistance, if they have a need with their car that needs to be fixed. We do a lot of work with security cameras for people to feel safe, gift cards for gas or for food. Those are a lot of things that we're giving out on a weekly basis here at the Monarch Justice Center.
So in a volunteer aspect, like if somebody if they have more time than money, how can somebody volunteer with you guys?
Yeah, so we do look for volunteers. We look for volunteers both for community outreach. So we do a lot of events where we have tabling, where we have resources to share with the community. We also have volunteers that work here in the center. They're typically helping us at the front desk, supporting the reception area. And then any kind of events that we do, we look for help from the community for volunteering.
I know that you mentioned like law enforcement and lawyers and legal and that. Are there law firms that are donating pro bono time, or how does that, how are those bills being paid for, obviously, legal support?
That's a good question. So we do use some of our emergency funds for legal assistance, but typically people are going to be working through 2 of our partners, which is the Bay Area Legal Aid, or IIBA, which is the Immigration Institute of the Bay Area, and they can help people with different legal issues at an affordable cost.
Anything coming up? Any like kind of big events that we should know about?
Yeah, so in November we're going to hold our first annual fundraiser. It'll be held at the Louis Martini Winery up Valley, so we're looking forward to that.
So Monarch Justice Center, like they help, you talked about the 5 pillars and all of the areas that they're helping the people. So what are some of the best success stories that you can share with us?
Yeah, definitely. We recently helped a family who was living in their car. We had a mother with 2 daughters, and their situation came to us through the county. They were escaping a domestic violence situation and didn't have anywhere to go. In looking for support, different groups have different requirements and different specifications to be met to be able to get that funding. And so we were able to use our emergency funding to put them in a hotel for a week. And then the county was able to step in and give them a voucher for a hotel, which gives them enough time to make it on the waiting list for the Rainbow House, which is a family shelter here in Napa County. And so by working together with our partners and combining resources, we were able to get them off the streets.
That's amazing. That's great. So how did the Monarch Justice Center begin?
So very good question. We get that asked a lot. Family Justice Centers started in 2002 in San Diego. And it was in a response to victims of crime not being able to get through a difficult, cumbersome system that was meant to support them, but would make it difficult to the point where they would even opt out of trying to get help. In 2003, President George Bush recognized this and funded 15 other family justice centers in the United States. From there, we have over about 150 family justice centers in the United States. In California, out of the 58 counties, we have 23 counties that have family justice centers, and Napa is one of them, with more coming online. And the reason for the growth is because they work. And what I mean by that is when you put services and organizations together under one roof, you make it easier for somebody to get the help that they need. And so when they come, they feel secure, safe, supported. They can meet with somebody from the prosecutor's office or someone from the law enforcement and social services. We can connect them to counseling and therapy. We can get them immediate needs met. And so it really has been a model that has worked, and that is why it's been supported and grown across the United States.
That's amazing. So you mentioned that it started with 50. How many are out there right now nationwide, do you think? There's
over 150 within the United States.
Wow, and 25 of them, or 23, I think you said,
yeah,
are in California alone. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, California definitely leads in the amount of course, we're one of the larger states, though, too.
Yeah. Well, maybe we have a lot of more problems. So a lot of your clients come to you through bad experiences and bad situations. So in those circumstances, they would normally just kind of go to the police, and then the police would create a case, and then it would be prosecuted. How does Monarch get involved with that?
Yeah, so our key partners are law enforcement and the district attorney's office, and so they will refer these clients to us to get in touch with the services that we do have. So it flows quite nicely for the client when they are going through a horrible situation, that they can get plugged in quickly. We call it a coordinated community response to a victim of crime, so they have immediate help on all levels, not just one level.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate what you guys do for our community and helping, and I hope that this message can get out and some people will see this and continue to support Monarch.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.